Hello, my amazing learners, and welcome back to the Wisdom English podcast. My name is Sarah, and welcome to day 2 of our new 10-part series, Stop Overthinking, Start Speaking. First of all, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who participated in day 1. Your commitment is amazing. Yesterday, we talked about the big picture of why we get stuck. Today, we're going to zoom in on the single biggest habit that slows down your speaking, translating in your head. Do you ever feel like your brain is a slow, clumsy robot when you try to speak English? It has to hear something in English, translate it to your native language, think of a reply, translate that reply back into English, and then finally try to speak. It's exhausting. But what if I told you that you could transform that robot into a fluent, graceful dancer? A dancer who moves with the music of the conversation, without thinking about every single step. That is the feeling of thinking directly in English. And today, I will give you the practical steps to start breaking the translation habit forever. And make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I'll reveal the simple secret that will help you build your own English world inside your mind. So, why is translating in your head such a big problem? We touched on this in our last episode, but let's go deeper. Firstly, it's incredibly slow. As we just discussed, your brain is doing 2 jobs instead of 1. A real conversation moves quickly. By the time you have finished your mental translation, the moment has passed, the topic has changed, and you've missed your chance to speak. This makes you feel like you're always one step behind in the conversation. Secondly, it often leads to unnatural sentences and grammatical mistakes. Every language has its own unique structure, its own music. When you translate word for word from your native language, you are often forcing its grammar onto English. This can result in sentences that sound strange or are grammatically incorrect. For example, in many languages, the adjective comes after the noun. So, you might translate a car red instead of the natural English, a red car. These small but frequent errors are a direct result of the translation habit. Finally, and most importantly, translating blocks fluency and kills confidence. Fluency is about flow. It's about your words moving smoothly and naturally. Translating creates constant pauses, hesitation, and that sound that we all hate. It breaks the rhythm of your speech. And every time you get stuck searching for a translation, your confidence takes a little hit. You start to believe, my English is slow, when in reality, it's just your method that is slow. So, how do we fix this? How do we train our brains to stop translating and start thinking directly in English? It happens through small, consistent, daily exercises. Let's get into our new techniques for today. Practical techniques to break the translation habit. All right, these are practical, simple exercises you can start doing today. Technique number 1. The object labeling method. This is where we begin. It's the simplest and most foundational exercise. I want you to look around the room you are in right now. Don't translate. Just look at an object and say its English name out loud. For example, I'm in my office right now. I see a lamp, a computer, a window, a book, a plant, a chair. Your turn. Look around your room. What do you see? Say the words out loud. The goal here is to create a direct link in your brain between the real-world object and the English word. We are bypassing your native language completely. Do this for just 1 minute every day. In your bedroom, in your kitchen, on the bus. Just look and name. This simple act starts to build the foundation of an English world in your mind. Technique number 2, the Simple Actions Monologue. Once you are comfortable with labeling objects, we move to the next level, actions. For this exercise, I want you to describe what you are doing in the present moment using simple subject-verb-object sentences. You are creating a simple monologue, a running commentary of your life in English. For example, right now, I am sitting at my desk. I am speaking into my microphone. I am looking at my computer screen. If you are cooking dinner, you could say, I am chopping the onions. I am heating the pan. I am adding some oil. The sentences are very simple, but the process is incredibly powerful. You are training your brain to think about your actions directly in English. You are connecting the physical experience with the English language without a translator in the middle. Try this for just 2 or 3 minutes a day. Technique number 3, the word association game. This is a powerful mental exercise to build connections within the English language. Here's how it works. Start with one simple English word. Then, say the next English word that comes into your mind. Don't judge it. Don't overthink it. Just let the words flow. It creates a chain of thoughts, all in English. Let's try it together. I'll start with the word water. Water, river, boat, travel, airport, plane, sky, blue, ocean, fish, hungry, restaurant, friends, laughing. You see? Each word connects to the next, creating a pathway of thought that stays completely inside the English language. This is a fantastic warm-up to do before a conversation or an English class. It gets your English brain activated. Try to make your own chain for 1 minute. Start with the word house. What comes next? Technique number 4, use an English-only dictionary. This is a crucial step for intermediate and advanced learners. I want you to stop using a bilingual dictionary, one that translates from your language to English, and start using a monolingual English to English dictionary. Why? Because a bilingual dictionary keeps you in the habit of translating. You see an English word and your brain immediately gets the answer in your native language. But with an English-only dictionary, when you look up a new word, you get the definition in simpler English. This forces you to think and understand the word within the context of the English language. It keeps you inside the English bubble. It might feel a little more difficult at first, but it is one of the most effective ways to start thinking like a native speaker. Technique number 5, the 3-sentence daily journal. This is a simple but incredibly effective habit. Every night before you go to sleep, I want you to write just 3 simple sentences in English about your day. That's it. Not a long essay, just 3 sentences. For example, today I went to work. The meeting was very long. I was happy to come home. I talked to my friend on the phone today. We laughed a lot. I feel much better now. I studied English for 30 minutes. The lesson was interesting. I feel proud of myself. This habit does 2 amazing things. First, it forces you to summarize your real experiences directly into English. Second, It builds a collection of your own personal, correct English sentences that you can review later. This is how you build a solid foundation of real, usable language about your own life. The Spontaneous Speaking Challenge. All right, now it's time for our fun and practical exercise for today. We're going to do a spontaneous speaking challenge specifically designed to fight the translation habit. Here's how it works. I will give you a simple picture. You will have 60 seconds to describe what you see in the picture. The only rule is that you must use short, simple sentences. Do not try to use complex vocabulary or grammar. Just describe what is happening. The goal is to connect your eyes directly to your mouth, bypassing the translator in your brain. First, I'll show you an example. Let's look at this picture of a park. I'll start the 60-second timer. Now. Okay. I see a beautiful park. The sun is shining, the sky is blue. There are many green trees. A family is having a picnic on the grass. A father is flying a kite with his son. A mother is reading a book. A dog is running and playing. I see some people walking on a path. A man is riding a bicycle. It looks like a very happy and peaceful day. The weather is perfect. See? The sentences were very simple, but it was a full, clear description. I was describing what I saw directly in English. Now, it's your turn. I'm going to describe a different picture for you to imagine. Imagine a busy city street. There are tall buildings, yellow taxis, and many people walking on the sidewalk. Some people are talking on their phones, some are carrying shopping bags, and some are drinking coffee. It's a normal, busy afternoon in a big city. I want you to describe this scene. You have 60 seconds. Don't overthink, just talk. Start speaking. Now. 60-second pause for your practice. Excellent work! I know it's not easy, but every time you do this, you are literally rewiring your brain to think in English, shifting your mindset for confidence. We've talked about practical techniques, but now I want to talk about your mindset. You can know all the techniques in the world, but if you don't believe in yourself, you will always hesitate. The most important mindset shift is to embrace the idea of an English persona. A persona is like a character you play. I want you to create a version of yourself that exists only in English. This English Sarah or English David might be a little more confident, a little more outgoing, a little more playful than you are in your native language. When you put on this persona, you give yourself permission to be different. You give yourself permission to make mistakes, because it's the character making them, not you. This can be a very powerful psychological trick to overcome shyness and the fear of being judged. Another important shift is to celebrate your attempts, not just your successes. Did you try to speak to someone in English today, even if it was just for 10 seconds? Celebrate that. Did you try to think about your day in English, even if you forgot some words? Celebrate that. When you start to reward yourself for the effort of trying, you will be much more likely to keep trying. And that is the real key to progress. The final secret. So, we've covered a lot today. We've talked about why translating is a problem, and we've learned 5 practical techniques to help you break the habit. Object labeling, narrating your actions, word association, using an English-only dictionary, and writing a 3-sentence journal. And now, for the secret I promised at the beginning. The simple secret that ties all of this together is this. You need to create an English world inside your mind. This world doesn't appear overnight. It starts small. It starts with one object, lamp, one action, I am drinking coffee, one thought, the sky is blue. But every time you choose to use one of these techniques, every time you choose to think directly in English instead of translating, you are adding another brick to your English world. And soon that world will become so big and so comfortable that you will feel more at home thinking there than you do in your native language. So, my challenge to you is this. For today's practice, choose just one of the techniques we learned and do it for 5 minutes. Maybe you'll choose the object labeling method. Maybe you'll try the 3-sentence journal. Choose one and be consistent. Start building your English world one brick at a time and tell me in the comments how it felt. Join me tomorrow for day 3, where we will tackle another major obstacle, the fear of making mistakes. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom English podcast channel to watch our next videos.